The human pilot Leo guided his small spacecraft through the silent reaches of space. His mission was simple in words but dangerous in truth: explore uncharted worlds and establish peaceful contact wherever possible. The star map showed a bright blue planet, surrounded by rings of sparkling ice. Sensors indicated life, but the readings were unusual, hinting at intelligence far beyond what humans had encountered before. Leo's heart beat faster. This could be the discovery of a lifetime. As his ship descended, the surface revealed a city unlike anything he had imagined. Towering spires floated in midair, connected by bridges of glowing crystal. Waterfalls of light cascaded from the highest towers, and strange flying creatures glided gracefully between the buildings. The city pulsed with energy, yet there was a sense of calm, almost like the place was alive and watching. Leo landed carefully near the entrance of the main palace. The palace was enormous, stretching far into the sky, with doors carved from materials that shimmered with shifting colors. The inhabitants of the city paused to look at the small human ship. Many had elongated forms and delicate features. Their eyes were large, filled with curiosity, and they studied Leo silently. He stepped out, his boots making a soft sound on the smooth surface. His uniform was simple, but he wore it with pride. Humans had a long history of exploration, and he carried that legacy with him. Two alien attendants approached, their movements precise and fluid. They spoke in a musical language that Leo could not understand. A device on his wrist translated their words instantly. "You are requested to follow to the palace hall," it said. Leo nodded. He had expected this to be formal, but the politeness surprised him. The attendants moved without speaking again, leading him through corridors that twisted like ribbons, walls etched with symbols that seemed to glow faintly. Ahead, a large chamber opened up, and Leo saw her. The alien Princess Myra stood alone, her figure graceful and commanding. She had long flowing hair the color of silver, and her eyes reflected intelligence and care. She was young, but there was a strength in her posture that spoke of years of training and responsibility. For a moment, Leo felt a strange calm, as if her presence itself was powerful enough to quiet the room. Then she moved, stepping closer. And to Leo's surprise, she stood uncovered. Not in a way to alarm him, but in a way that showed confidence and vulnerability at the same time. Her reaction was not of fear or anger but of quiet curiosity. She studied him, and her gaze seemed to weigh his intentions. Leo felt a shiver run down his spine, not from cold but from the intensity of her eyes. He realized that this meeting was not just about diplomacy. Something deeper, something important, was happening here. Leo took a step forward, keeping his hands visible to show he meant no harm. "I am Leo, from Earth," he said calmly. "I come in peace. I wish to learn about your people and your world." Myra tilted her head slightly, listening. The translator device rendered her words into a soft voice. "I am Myra. You are far from your home, human. Few have reached this place. Why have you come?" Leo smiled faintly, feeling the weight of her question. "To understand, to share, and to help if needed. I do not wish to harm your people." Myra studied him for a long moment. Then, she motioned with a hand, inviting him to follow her further into the palace. The walls opened to reveal a vast hall, filled with symbols of history and culture. Leo noticed murals depicting great battles, inventions, and explorers. The aliens clearly valued knowledge and bravery, and their art told stories older than any human records. As they walked, Leo realized the city outside the palace seemed alive. The air shimmered with energy, and small machines floated through the corridors, cleaning and maintaining the place silently. He could see the thought and care in every design. Myra noticed his gaze and spoke. "Our world is not like yours. We value life and knowledge above conquest. Few outsiders come here, and fewer leave unchanged." Leo nodded. He felt the truth of her words. This was not a place to conquer. This was a place to understand, and he felt a growing responsibility to show the best of humanity. He also sensed that Myra was testing him, watching not only his words but his manner and attitude. The chamber they entered was larger, brighter, and more detailed than any he had seen. Leo stopped for a moment, taking in the vastness. Myra looked at him and smiled faintly. It was a small gesture, but it carried warmth and trust. "You may stay here while we prepare to speak with the council," she said. Leo understood the importance of this moment. This was the first step in a relationship that could change the fate of both their worlds. And he knew, even as he stood in awe of Myra and her palace, that every choice he made now would be remembered. The human had arrived, and the alien princess's reaction had spoken volumes. Leo followed Myra through the wide corridors of the palace. The walls shimmered with faint colors, like light passing through crystal, and every step echoed softly. The attendants had disappeared, leaving them alone in the quiet hall. Leo felt both nervous and curious. Myra walked with grace, her movements smooth and deliberate, as if every step held meaning. Finally, they entered a large chamber at the heart of the palace. The room was tall and round, with a high ceiling that curved like the inside of a shell. Light streamed through narrow openings, casting soft patterns on the polished floor. Strange plants with translucent leaves glowed faintly along the walls, and small streams of water flowed gently through carved channels. Everything seemed alive and yet calm, like the palace itself was observing them. Myra stopped in the center of the room and turned to face Leo. She stood uncovered, not in a way to intimidate, but with quiet confidence. Her gaze met his, steady and thoughtful. Leo felt the weight of her attention. It was not judgmental, but probing. He realized she was measuring him, trying to understand who he was and what he represented. "You are far from your home," Myra said, her voice gentle and melodic. "Few humans reach this world. Tell me, why have you come?" Leo kept his posture open and calm. "I came to learn. To understand your people and your world. I want to help if I can. I do not come as a threat." Myra studied him in silence. Then, slowly, she nodded. "I sense honesty in your words. That is rare among those who travel the stars. Many come seeking power or knowledge for their own gain. Humans are different." Leo felt a small relief. He had expected diplomacy to be more formal, more guarded. Myra's openness, even in testing him, was surprising. "I only wish to show respect and friendship. We have much to learn from each other," he said. She stepped closer, and Leo noticed the details of her expression. Her eyes were wide and reflective, showing both wisdom and curiosity. Her features were elegant, and her posture carried authority, yet there was a softness in the way she moved. For a moment, Leo forgot the distance between their worlds and saw her simply as another being trying to understand him. Myra motioned toward a set of floating platforms in the room. They hovered silently, arranged like steps. "Sit here if you wish," she said, her voice calm. Leo hesitated. The platforms moved gently in response to her gestures. He stepped forward carefully and stood on one, feeling it rise slightly beneath his weight. "You must understand something about my people," Myra said. "We value knowledge, patience, and the protection of life. Outsiders often fail because they do not see the balance in our world. To survive here, you must learn quickly." Leo nodded, studying the room. "I am willing to learn. I know that humans are not always perfect, but we try. And we can adapt." Myra smiled faintly. It was a small gesture, but it carried warmth and encouragement. "Adaptation is important. But courage is also tested here. Your heart will be measured, not just your mind." Leo felt a sense of responsibility. This was more than a meeting. Every action, every word, mattered. He realized that the fate of understanding between humans and Myra's people could rest on small choices like honesty and respect. The room fell quiet for a moment. Leo looked around, noticing intricate carvings along the walls. They depicted the history of Myra's people, great explorers, inventors, and warriors. Each story was a lesson, a reminder of the strength and wisdom that had shaped this civilization. He felt humbled, knowing humans had much to learn. Myra finally spoke again. You will not be tested by words alone. There are challenges ahead. The galaxy is not as safe as it appears. Threats exist beyond this world. To face them, you must understand our ways and show the strength of your species. Leo straightened his back. Then I am ready. I will do what I can to help. I will learn quickly and act with care. Myra studied him for a long time, her eyes reflecting both thought and consideration. Very well, human. For now, you may remain here. I will guide you, and you will see the ways of my people. But know this, trust is earned, and respect is required. Fail in either, and the consequences will be severe. Leo nodded firmly. He understood the gravity of her words. This world was unlike any he had seen. Its people were wise, careful, and capable of great power. He felt a mixture of awe and determination. He had come to explore, but he realized now that his role could be far more important than simple discovery. As Myra turned and walked toward another part of the chamber, Leo followed. The palace seemed endless, filled with secrets and wonders. And for the first time, he understood that this encounter was only the beginning of a journey that would challenge everything he knew about courage, wisdom, and the strength of the human spirit. The human pilot had arrived, and the alien princess's reaction had already set the course for something greater. Leo followed Myra through a series of corridors that twisted like ribbons of light. The palace seemed alive, and the hum of energy in the walls made him feel as if the building itself was aware of his presence. Myra walked with confidence, her posture commanding yet graceful. She finally stopped before a large, ornate door, and turned to him. This is a private chamber, Myra said. Here, you will learn the true danger my people face. It is not a threat you can see from the skies. It is closer, and more dangerous than you might imagine. Leo nodded, his curiosity and caution increasing at the same time. I am ready to listen. We can only help if we understand. The door opened silently, revealing a chamber filled with holographic projections. Stars, planets, and moving symbols floated in midair, displaying patterns Leo had never seen. Myra moved her hand, and one of the projections expanded, showing a fleet of dark, menacing ships approaching Myra's planet. These are the carrions, Myra explained, her voice steady but serious. They conquer and enslave civilizations that cannot defend themselves. They seek resources, technology, and knowledge to strengthen their empire. Our scouts have watched them for cycles, and now they are moving toward us. Leo studied the projection carefully. The ships were massive, advanced beyond anything humans had built. Yet there was something he noticed immediately: their formations were rigid, predictable, and structured. They are powerful, he said, but their movement is too organized. That could be a weakness. Myra's eyes narrowed slightly, a faint smile appearing. You see clearly, human. Many underestimate the importance of flexibility in battle. The carrions rely on overwhelming force and strict strategy. They do not adapt quickly. That is where a human mind can make a difference. Leo felt a mix of awe and determination. He had not expected to face a threat of this scale so soon, yet he also realized that humans had qualities that could tip the balance. Creativity, adaptability, and courage were strengths he could offer. The carrions do not negotiate, Myra continued. They destroy first and ask questions later. My people can fight, but their numbers are limited. If we do not act carefully, our world will fall. That is why your arrival is important. You bring a different perspective, and perhaps a solution that we have not considered. Leo nodded firmly. Then we must prepare. Tell me what you need me to do, and I will do it. I will help your people in any way I can. Myra studied him for a moment, then motioned to a smaller table filled with devices and scroll-like data tablets. These are the tools and knowledge my people use for defense and strategy. You will learn quickly. I trust that your understanding will allow us to find a way to protect our world. Leo approached the table, examining the devices. They were intricate, some responding to gestures, others requiring precise sequences to activate. He realized that learning this technology would not be simple, yet he also knew humans had a talent for adapting quickly. Within moments, he began to understand patterns and possibilities that even Myra's advisors might overlook. Your people rely heavily on their intelligence, Leo said, pointing at a device that controlled defensive drones. We can use this to our advantage. Perhaps we can create situations where the carrions overextend and lose their coordination. They will not expect unconventional thinking. Myra's eyes sparkled with approval. Exactly, human. You see the opportunity hidden within danger. That is why you are here. We must combine our knowledge and yours to create a defense that is both strong and clever. The carrions will not know what hit them. The conversation shifted to tactics and strategies. Myra showed Leo maps of the planet's orbit, key cities, and potential strongholds. She explained how her people could mobilize forces quickly, yet she was careful to emphasize that brute force alone would not win. Leo contributed ideas from human history, battles where smaller forces had succeeded through creativity and planning. By the time the discussion ended, Leo had a clear understanding of the threat. The carrions were dangerous, but they could be outsmarted. He also realized that Myra's people were disciplined, capable, and brave. Together, they could form a team that combined human ingenuity and alien strength. Myra looked at Leo with a mixture of trust and seriousness. Tomorrow, you will meet the council. You will show them that humans can be allies, not just observers. If they accept your ideas, we can begin the preparations. If they do not, we will have little time to act before the carrions arrive. Leo felt the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. The fate of an entire planet rested partly on him, a single human far from home. Yet he also felt determination. Humans were capable of great courage, and he would prove that their spirit could stand among the stars. As he left the chamber, Leo looked out a window at the city below. The alien towers glowed softly, the streams of energy reflecting a world filled with life and wisdom. Myra walked beside him, calm and confident, yet he could sense the tension beneath her composed exterior. The human had learned of the threat, and the alien princess had shown him the scale of the danger. But Leo also realized something else: together, they could face it. And perhaps, through this partnership, humans and aliens could prove that courage and intelligence could change the course of the galaxy. The next morning, Leo awoke early, eager to begin learning from Myra and her people. The chamber he had spent the night in was filled with holographic displays and intricate alien devices. Myra appeared at the doorway, her silver hair catching the soft light, and her eyes reflected calm determination. "Today, you will begin training," she said. "Understanding technology is only one part. You must learn how we think, how we act, and how we fight if the time comes." Leo nodded, feeling a mixture of excitement and nervousness. He had trained as a pilot and explorer, but this was different. The alien world demanded not just skill, but awareness and adaptability. He followed Myra through the palace to a large training hall. The floor was smooth but resistant, and walls were lined with devices that could simulate combat scenarios and environmental challenges. Myra gestured to a group of young warriors. They were graceful and precise, moving with synchronized steps as they practiced. Leo noticed their weapons were unlike any human technology. They could extend energy blades from compact devices, and shields appeared and disappeared with thought and gesture. The warriors' movements were fluid, almost like a dance, yet each motion had purpose and strength. "You will begin with observation," Myra said. "Watch carefully, then try to replicate what you see. Do not rush. Precision matters more than speed." Leo studied their movements. At first, it seemed impossible. Their speed, their control, their coordination all far beyond what he had experienced. Yet he remembered something his instructors on Earth had always told him: humans could adapt when faced with challenges. He focused, letting his mind break down the patterns. Slowly, he started to imitate the motions, adjusting his stance and timing. Myra walked beside him, offering gentle guidance. Your movements are different from ours, but that is not a weakness. Your strength lies in creativity and unpredictability. Use it wisely. Hours passed, and Leo began to understand not only the physical aspects of their training but the thought behind it. Each action had a reason, a strategy embedded in every step. The young warriors began to acknowledge him with nods, recognizing that he was learning quickly. Myra's approval was evident in the subtle curve of her lips. After the physical training, Myra guided him to a tactical room. Maps of the galaxy floated in midair, showing planets, fleets, and movement patterns. Strategy is as important as strength, she explained. The Carrions rely on overwhelming force. They do not expect careful planning or unusual tactics. That is where humans can excel. Leo studied the maps, suggesting ways to create diversions, mislead enemy scouts, and exploit predictable patterns. Myra listened carefully, nodding. You think differently from my people, and that is valuable. Together, we can combine human ingenuity with alien knowledge. Over the next several cycles, training continued. Leo learned how to handle energy weapons, use shields, and adapt to zero-gravity environments. Myra introduced him to small drones that could assist in reconnaissance. Leo quickly understood how to integrate human tactics with these alien tools, surprising even the experienced warriors. One evening, after a long day of practice, Myra led Leo to a balcony overlooking the city. The towers glowed softly, streams of energy reflecting the twilight sky. You are learning quickly, she said. But remember, this is not just about skill. Trust, courage, and understanding are what will save lives when the time comes. Leo nodded, feeling the weight of her words. I will do my best. I want to help your people and prove that humans can be trusted. Myra smiled faintly. You already are trusted, human. But the real test will come when we face the Carrions. That is when your strength and intelligence must work together. You must be ready to act quickly, think clearly, and never forget what is at stake. Leo looked out at the city below. He realized that the training was more than physical preparation. It was a lesson in patience, strategy, and partnership. He began to feel a connection not only to Myra but to her people as well. Humans had traveled far, but this experience was teaching him the true meaning of cooperation and courage. The bond between Leo and Myra grew stronger. They shared ideas, discussed tactics, and even laughed at small mistakes during training. Myra respected his insight, and Leo admired her wisdom. Together, they were forming a partnership that could face even the greatest threats. By the end of the day, Leo felt exhausted but determined. He understood that the upcoming challenges would test him in ways he had never imagined. Yet with Myra's guidance and the alliance they were building, he felt ready to face the dangers ahead. The training had begun, and the foundation for trust, courage, and teamwork had been laid. The human and the alien princess stood side by side, looking toward the horizon, knowing that the trials to come would shape the future of both their worlds. The sun rose over the alien city, casting soft light on the floating towers and sparkling bridges. Leo stood on the palace balcony, overlooking the streets below. Myra joined him, her expression calm but serious. The Carrions will strike soon, she said. We have done all we can to prepare, but this is the moment to test our plans. Leo felt a surge of determination. He had trained for this, combining human strategy with alien technology. We are ready, he said. I will do everything I can to help. Myra nodded and led him to the central command room. The chamber was filled with holographic maps, showing the approaching enemy fleet. The Carrions were massive, their ships dark and angular, moving with precision. Yet Leo noticed something the aliens had not emphasized: their patterns were predictable. A small shift in timing could disrupt their formation. "Your observation is correct," Myra said. "We will use it. Follow my lead, and act when I give the signal." Outside, the citizens watched from safe observation points. The palace had projected shields and defensive drones along key positions. The air was tense, and even the calm energy of the city seemed to brace for impact. The first wave of carry-on ships appeared on the horizon. They moved quickly, their weapons glowing with energy. Leo could feel the pressure building, but he focused on the plan. Myra directed the alien forces, issuing commands that were precise and clear. Drones flew ahead to intercept, while energy barriers protected the city's key areas. Leo activated a small fleet of human-designed drones that could move unpredictably. They darted between the carry-on ships, creating confusion in the enemy ranks. Myra watched, impressed by the ingenuity. "Your tactics are working," she said. "Keep them moving and unpredictable." The carry-ons fired their energy weapons, but the human and alien defenses absorbed and deflected most attacks. Leo maneuvered quickly, guiding drones to intercept incoming threats. He felt the adrenaline of battle, but he remained calm, thinking ahead and adjusting strategies as needed. Myra moved through the battlefield with ease, coordinating her warriors and monitoring defenses. Her people were skilled, precise, and disciplined. Leo realized that the combination of human creativity and alien experience was turning the tide. The carry-ons began to hesitate, their rigid formation disrupted by unexpected movements. One of the carry-on ships broke through a weaker defense line, heading toward a key energy generator. Leo reacted instantly, deploying drones to intercept it. At the same time, Myra directed a group of warriors to intercept the intruder. The coordinated effort worked perfectly, and the ship was neutralized before it could cause damage. The battle raged for cycles, each side testing the other. The carry-ons were relentless, but they were also predictable, and the human-alien alliance used that to their advantage. Leo suggested new diversions, misdirecting the enemy ships and drawing them into traps. Myra implemented the strategies with precision, and her warriors executed maneuvers that amazed Leo. As the sun set, the first wave of carry-ons began to retreat. Their formation had been broken, and their ships damaged. Myra and Leo stood together, watching the enemy withdraw. The city below was safe, and the citizens cheered quietly from their observation points. "You have done well, human," Myra said, her eyes reflecting pride and relief. "Your insight and courage made a difference. We could not have held them off without your strategies." Leo smiled, feeling both exhaustion and satisfaction. "We did it together. Your people are amazing, and I have learned so much from you." Myra nodded. "The carry-ons will return, and next time they may be stronger. But today we have shown that strength and intelligence together can protect our world. Remember this feeling, Leo. Courage is tested in action, and today we passed the test." Leo looked around at the city. The towers glowed softly, and the streams of energy reflected the fading sunlight. He felt proud to be part of this victory. It was more than a battle, it was proof that humans could stand beside other civilizations and face impossible odds with determination and creativity. As night fell, Myra and Leo walked through the palace gardens. The air was calm, the alien plants swaying gently in the soft breeze. Myra spoke quietly, "You have earned the trust of my people. But the true challenge is yet to come. We must prepare for the next wave and find ways to defeat the carry-ons completely." Leo nodded. "I am ready. Whatever comes next, we will face it together." The human and the alien princess stood under the starlit sky, knowing that this battle was only the beginning. Their partnership had proven strong, and their courage had saved lives. Together, they had taken the first step toward protecting a world and forging a bond that could change the future of the galaxy. After the first battle, the palace was calm but tense. Myra led Leo to a private chamber that few humans had ever seen. The walls glowed softly with patterns that seemed to tell stories, and small orbs floated in the air, casting gentle light. Myra's face was serious, yet calm. "There is something I have not told you, Leo," Myra began. "Something important about my people and your arrival." Leo listened carefully, knowing that whatever she said would be significant. "I am ready," he said. "Please tell me." Myra walked to the center of the chamber and gestured toward a floating tablet. A holographic image appeared, showing a scene from many cycles ago. A human figure stood beside an alien princess, facing a great enemy. The vision shifted, showing battles, alliances, and victories. Myra looked at Leo. "This is an ancient prophecy," she said. "It speaks of a human who would arrive in our time of greatest need. The one who would bring new ideas and courage to save our world from destruction. Many believed it was only a story, but now I see it may refer to you." Leo felt a mixture of awe and disbelief. "Me? How can that be possible?" Myra's eyes were steady. "The prophecy does not explain everything. It only says that a human will aid us when we face an enemy that cannot be defeated by strength alone. The carrions are powerful, but they are predictable. They do not adapt quickly, and they underestimate creativity and courage. That is where humans have an advantage." Leo studied the holographic maps again, seeing the carrion fleets and their patterns. He realized Myra was right. Their strength was in power, but their weakness lay in rigidity. If they could be outsmarted, the planet could be saved. "We have found their weakness," Leo said. "They rely on strict formations and patterns. If we can disrupt them, confuse them, and force them to act unpredictably, we can gain the advantage." Myra nodded, a small smile appearing. "That is exactly what I hoped you would see. Your thinking is different from my people's, and that is why your presence is vital. We can combine human ingenuity with alien knowledge to create a strategy they cannot anticipate." They spent the next cycles planning. Leo suggested diversions, decoys, and clever maneuvers to draw carrion ships into traps. Myra contributed her people's experience, showing how warriors could act with precision and speed to support his ideas. Together, they created a plan that balanced human creativity with alien discipline. As they worked, Myra shared more about her people's history. She told stories of past heroes, explorers, and leaders who had defended their world against invaders. Leo realized that courage and intelligence were deeply respected here, and he felt honored to contribute. Myra paused and looked at Leo carefully. "The council must approve this plan," she said. "They are wise and cautious. They will question your ideas and test your judgment. You must show them that humans can be trusted, that we can work together." Leo nodded, feeling both pressure and determination. "I understand. I will do my best. I will show them that humans are capable allies." Myra extended her hand, and Leo took it. There was a quiet understanding between them. They were partners now, united by purpose and trust. Their alliance was more than strategy, it was a bond that could shape the future. "Tomorrow, you will meet the council," Myra said. "You must be clear, confident, and thoughtful. Show them that courage and intelligence together can protect our world. If we succeed, the carrions will never see us coming." Leo felt a surge of responsibility. The fate of the planet rested not only on technology and strength but on trust, cooperation, and quick thinking. He had trained, learned, and fought already, but now he understood the true challenge, inspiring confidence and action in others. That evening, Leo walked through the palace gardens. The alien plants glowed softly, reflecting the starlight. He thought about the prophecy and the trust Myra had placed in him. Humans had traveled far in the stars, but this was a different test. It was not only about survival but about partnership, courage, and hope. Myra joined him quietly. She stood beside him, looking at the horizon. "You have seen the threat, Leo. You have seen our people's strengths and your own. Now you must be ready for the next step. The council and the final strategy will test everything we have learned. Leo looked at her and nodded. I am ready. Whatever comes, we will face it together. The alien princess smiled faintly, a mixture of pride and relief in her expression. The human had proven himself not only in observation and thought but in courage and determination. Together, they would face the carrions, and together, they might save the world. The prophecy had revealed its meaning, the enemy's weakness was known, and the human and the alien princess stood ready to take the next steps in defending the galaxy. The sky above the alien city was filled with stars, yet the calm of the night was deceptive. Leo and Myra stood on a balcony overlooking the palace grounds, preparing for the final battle. The carrions had returned, their fleet larger and more organized than before. Every ship glinted with dark energy, and their movements were precise and unyielding. Myra turned to Leo, her silver hair catching the faint starlight. This is it, Leo. Today we face them fully. Your plan, your strategies, and your courage will be tested to the fullest. Are you ready? Leo nodded firmly. I am ready. Together, we can protect your people and show the carrions that they cannot conquer us. The palace command room was alive with activity. Holographic maps floated in the air, showing the approaching carrion ships. Myra's elite warriors prepared their weapons, energy shields, and drones, moving with practiced precision. Leo guided his human-designed drones, coordinating movements to confuse and mislead the enemy. Every decision counted. As the first wave of carrion ships approached, Leo initiated the plan. Drones darted unpredictably, drawing some ships into traps, while others followed decoy signals that appeared real but led to dead ends. Myra and her warriors moved with skill, striking when the carrions least expected. The combination of human creativity and alien discipline caused confusion in the enemy fleet. One massive carrion ship broke through the initial defenses, heading toward the city's energy core. Leo reacted immediately, deploying drones to intercept it. Myra led a group of warriors directly to the threat, moving with speed and precision. Together, human and alien forces neutralized the ship before it could cause damage. The battle continued for cycles, each side testing the other's limits. The carrions were relentless, yet their predictability became their weakness. Leo suggested new maneuvers, unexpected diversions, and calculated risks. Myra executed them flawlessly, her people responding to her commands with trust and skill. During a critical moment, a group of carrion ships attempted to flank the city. Leo noticed a weak point in their formation and quickly relayed instructions to Myra. She led a small strike team through a hidden approach, striking at the enemy's flank and disabling several ships. The carrions faltered, their confidence shaken by the unpredictable human-alien strategy. As the battle reached its climax, Leo and Myra coordinated a final maneuver. Using combined drones, energy shields, and precise strikes, they forced the remaining carrion ships into disarray. One by one, the ships were disabled or driven back. The alien fleet and city defenses remained unharmed, a testament to careful planning and courage. When the last enemy ship retreated, silence fell over the battlefield. The city below was safe, its citizens cheering quietly from secure observation points. Myra looked at Leo, her expression a mixture of pride, relief, and admiration. You have done it, human. Your courage and insight have saved this world. Together, we have shown that intelligence, creativity, and bravery can overcome even the greatest threats. Leo smiled, exhausted but fulfilled. We did it together. Your people are incredible, and I have learned so much. I could not have done this alone. Myra extended her hand, and Leo took it. The gesture symbolized not only victory but partnership. The bond between human and alien had been tested and proven strong. It was a connection built on trust, courage, and shared purpose. As night deepened, the city glowed softly under the starlight. Myra and Leo walked through the palace gardens, the alien plants shimmering with gentle energy. The air was calm, carrying the scents of alien flowers and the quiet hum of protective devices. Citizens began to emerge from safe zones, looking at their leaders and the human who had helped save them. "You have earned the respect and trust of my people," Myra said softly. "Humans are far from our world, yet you have shown that courage and wisdom are universal qualities. Together, we can build a future where our species protect and learn from each other." Leo looked at the horizon, the stars reflecting in his eyes. "I will help your people as long as I can. This victory is not just for today. It is for tomorrow and all the days that follow. We have proven what humans and aliens can do together." Myra nodded, her face serene but determined. "The carrions may return, and challenges will come, but today we have shown that unity and intelligence are stronger than force alone. The galaxy has witnessed our courage, and the bond we share will guide us forward." As they stood side by side, looking at the glowing city, Leo realized that this adventure was only the beginning. The human spirit, combined with the wisdom and strength of Myra's people, had achieved what many thought impossible. The galaxy was vast and full of dangers, but together, humans and aliens could face them all. The human pilot and the alien princess stood together, victorious, ready for a future filled with hope, partnership, and courage. Their story was not just one of battle but of trust, understanding, and the promise of new beginnings.